All right, welcome back to the Suburban Ford 7 Sports Cave. Justin Rose, Keith Nickel, Braylon Edwards. Time to ask the analysts, and we've been looking at Twitter and we've been tweeting ourselves out. But the guy who's in the control room right now, Mike Foss,
Mikey,
he's got the pulse firmly on Spartan and Wolverine Nation. What's going on, Mike?
Yeah, the pulse is strong as ever with the Michigan State fans this morning. Whole lot of Twitter reaction. Let's get right to it. We'll start with some of the comments from the Michigan State game last night. Sean says, 2 big games, Oregon and OSU, 2 blowouts. Sparty not ready for prime time quite yet. Hashtag regional program. Jeff says, Barrett looked like the varsity QB slicing and dicing the JV last night. Allie says, Ohio State made our secondary look like melted butter. Great preparation. Our pal Matt Derry, he'll be on next week. He said, stunned at how much they missed Denard and Lewis. Drummond has regressed, and it cost them. Alex says, could last night have been the end of MSU's run with OSU essentially all underclassmen? Their future looks bright. And Michael asking Keith, what changes would you have done differently and why, guys?
Wow, that's a lot of tweets and a lot of fire coming out of a lot of different people for a lot of different reasons. A lot of great stuff there. Let's start with the first one that
we were talking earlier.
We were talking about this before the show started. Right. Regional program. That bothers me because Michigan State has established itself as what I think is a perennial contender, at least in the Big Ten. And Braylon made a good point by saying,
well, if you look at Michigan State over the past 5 years, they, like you said, they're a perennial contender every year to win the Big Ten. They've done a great job. You know, my hat's off to Mark D'Antonio, with the exception of last night, of what he's done for that program and adding an attitude for them. But like that tweet said, last night was a chance for Michigan State to step out of that second-tier national realm. Second-tier national realm, not Big Ten, not locally, to step outside. They were favored. Everyone liked them. Had Ohio State coming in. This was a chance for them to get a great win, national TV, and prove that they deserve to be in that 4th spot, and they deserve, you know, what they were and what people have been talking about after the Stanford win, the Rose Bowl, and they didn't get it done. And I think for a national scene, I think that docks Michigan State, or it doesn't dock them, it just keeps them where they are. They didn't regress, but they didn't progress.
Right. And Keith, to answer that last tweet, the one about what changes should they have made? I mean, I feel like Mark D'Antonio and Narduzzi have been so good at second-half adjustments. Right. There was no second-half adjustments.
You know, I don't really know if there's anything Michigan State could have done differently. I think they had a quality game plan. I think Ohio State just maybe had a little bit better. Theirs was a little bit better.
They got
couldn't
out-coached.
execute. They got, you can call it out coaching.
Yeah.
I can't say that about my former coaches, but I think Ohio State came in with a quality plan. I think their players were tuned up, and I've never liked Michigan State when they're favored to win. They've always performed well as the underdog.
Yep.
And I was telling people before, I don't know how I feel about this as them being favored by 4 points. I'd rather see the other way around because there's that extra fire that those kind of players have. They're very blue collar. The coaches are blue collar. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but I have to tip my cap off to Ohio State. I thought they just played a great football game. You can't take that away from them. Anytime you put up that amount of points on Pat Narduzzi defense, it's going to be hard to win a football game.
Narduzzi said 37 points. We should have won it. All right, coming up right after the break, the 2-minute drill. I'm going to drill both these guys with the hard-hitting questions that have plagued me for the last 12 hours. Stay with us.